What is up, veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to the movie review. And today we're gonna be reviewing The Little Mermaid 2023. I actually saw this movie a little bit ago, the same day I actually saw Spider-Verse. And so I'm late to the review. I figured I'm getting a bunch of reviews of other movies that I saw recently out of the way, so I might as well get this one done too. Do I need to read the synopsis? Do I need to read the synopsis? We all know the story of The Little Mermaid. I don't really think I need to read the synopsis, but just for the sake of consistency, let's read the synopsis here. The youngest of King Triton's daughters and the most defiant Ariel longs to find out more about the world beyond the sea, and while visiting the surface, falls to the dashing Prince Eric. While mermaids are forbidden to interact with humans, Ariel must follow her heart, and she makes a deal with the evil sea witch Ursula and gives her a chance to experience life on the land. Unfortunately, places her life and the father's crown in jeopardy. Dun dun dun. That's really all I can say without giving out any spoilers, but it's The Little Mermaid. You know this story. Yes, there are a few things added, which I think is a good thing, because this is probably like the second or third best Disney remake of the ones I've seen. Because like I said, my favorite of the live action remakes is the Aladdin remake. I actually listened to those versions of the songs a lot, and I have rewatched that movie countless times. I actually bought that movie twice. I bought it once on 4K and then lost that copy and bought it just again on normal Blu-ray. This movie though, I was curious to see what was going to how the people were going to respond to it, and just curious about how much differences and how much changes there were to the original source material. And at the end of the day, yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it's one of the better live action remakes. And obviously these things are not slowing down at all because they're making money. But this one I think is a pretty fun time. I think I could do one. I don't know the cast name. Halle Berry plays Ariel. She does a great job. This girl has an amazing singing voice, and it just sounds like some of the notes that they hit there are so beautiful, I'd say. And this does a fantastic job. I was one of the people that didn't have a problem with her playing the role. I think she did a good job. And I think especially during the parts she has to be mute, she is very good at like the emoting with like not giving the emotion or anything without actually speaking. She does a really good job. Like, obviously with animation, you over express the animation with so it's kind of easier to give across the emotion. But like with live action, you gotta really like the actor really has to sell it, and she does a really good job selling it. Who else we've got? Prince Eric. I feel that he gets a little more character in this than he did in the original. Which Prince Eric was always one of those characters, one of the Disney princes that actually got a little more character than some of the other ones did. And I feel like nothing crazy with him, but I feel like he was done all right. Casted by Jonah. I'm gonna try to say his last name. Something King. I'm not even gonna try to say it. And then you got King Triton. It was played by the same guy. Is that pronounced Javier Bardman? Bardman? Is that how you say that? I can't read. But he did. I thought he did an all right job. He recently last year was in Lyle Lyle Crocodile, which is a movie I still need to review. So yeah, it shows you how far behind I am on reviews. Which I have seen that movie. I just need to review it. But she does a really he does a decent job. I don't think he's anything fantastic. But I think it's all right. I think he does an all right job. I don't think he's anything fantastic, obviously. Now Melissa McCarthy as Ursula was my biggest concern with this movie, because a lot of the movies that Melissa McCarthy has been in, I'm not the hugest fan of. Some of our comedies and everything. But she was really good in this. She made Ursula seem very intimidating and felt like really good. Not in the original's not intimidating, but I really felt something they add with this one, which is something I took from the Broadway musical, because originally in the original Ariel was supposed to be Ursula's niece, which they put into the Broadway musical later, but they didn't put in here. Oh, they didn't put in the original, but they put it back in here. But I thought was cool. And she does a really good job with this role, I think. I don't know, they do a really good job. She kind of steals the scenes she's in, which is really a good thing. I think she does a really good job, especially with Poor Unfortunate Soul. She belts that song really well, surprisingly. Even though like Poor Unfortunate Soul has never been my favorite of the songs from this movie. But yeah, I don't want to talk about the music yet. Sebastian was one of the problem people that when the movie first got announced. People were like, they had a little bit of things about him. Because like, one, apparently the type of crab he is, apparently can't breathe underwater. So, but I don't really care at that point. This is the thing about mermaids turning into people and all that. I really don't. Do you really need realism there? I don't really care. He looks nice and he's like actually emotes pretty well and everything. I think he's all right. Flounder is one thing a lot of people had a problem with. He looked realistic. Like the talent was fine. It's like the realisticness of the fish and everything is like me. It didn't bother me. It didn't look that bad to me. It didn't look like bad like at all. Like it wasn't Lion King level of like no emotion talking. I think they learned from that. But yeah, Flounder was all right. Oh, other characters to talk about. Okay, this one was an interesting one. Talk about two more characters, then we'll talk about other things in the movie. Awkwafina as Scuttle, which me personally, Awkwafina is someone I don't hate. I know a lot of people don't like her voice and find her kind of irritating sometimes. Awkwafina, I think she's kind of entertaining and she can be really funny. Here, it's an interesting casting for Scuttle. It's definitely different, but it's a nice change. I think the way they have Scuttle handle, and like apparently Scuttle can talk underwater, which is weird. But we did have a penguin talk underwater in the second movie, so I guess that's fine. But let's talk about the music. Obviously all the songs you love are here. They didn't really cut anything. I think they're all performed well. Like I think the best songs in the movie are probably the best ones in the original, "Under the Sea" and "Part of Your World." They do add, I think, 3 songs. I think, yeah. One for Prince Eric, which feels out of place. And there is like a kind of a rap kind of song with Scuttle and Sebastian, which I didn't like at first, but it's grown on me. It's grown on me. The more I've thought about it. But the Prince Eric song, you can definitely feel this does not match. If you're gonna add a song, it needs to feel like it matches, which doesn't really. In this case, like some people also pointed out with like Beauty and the Beast with Evermore, that doesn't fit, and neither does Speechless and Aladdin, which I completely disagree. I feel like those songs fit really good with those movies. And but Prince Eric's was a little. I believe the song that's sung from Ariel's perspective when she like first gets on land and everything is new. I believe so. I don't remember that in the original. Obviously, this movie's not better than the original. Obviously. But it's still really good. I think it's one of the best Disney remakes out there. I think it is a fun time, and I think it is definitely well acted, and the music is done. And like the underwater stuff, especially doing Under the Sea, is beautiful. I think they do and that's just like there's so much visual eye candy in this movie. There is sometimes with the underwater stuff does look a little okay. This is look a little more interesting. The action sequence at the end of the movie though with Ursula, I don't know. It's pretty much the same thing, but something about it just feels a little eerie, and I really like it. And it's done pretty darn well. Now I have to get to the negatives because I'm pretty positive. This review. Is there anything I did not like? Like I said, the rap song is growing on me a bit, but it also feels and Prince Eric's song was kind of just like it did not feel like it clashed well with the other songs. There is some stilted acting here and there. For the most part, the acting is fine. The added changes and everything are. I feel like they keep it as close as they need to, but change enough to make it kind of its own thing. I think it is a fun time. I think the movie is good. I did enjoy it, and I think it is a good movie. And I think, critics give this movie a 66%, and audiences give it a 94%. I knew audiences were gonna eat this movie up. They always do. Personally, I would give this movie a solid 3 out of 5. Yes, I thought Ruby Gillman was better than this. Even though this was a musical, and I said Ruby Gillman should have been a musical. But yeah, it was fun getting to see these songs on the big screen. That was one of the big things for me. But that's really all I've got to say for this review, guys. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'd love to know your guys' opinions. And as always, link to everything down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!